thoughts for auto takeoff, and I was completely off base with what I was thinking in that video and doing. This is the two parameters we're talking about, the auto takeoff altitude and the auto takeoff distance. The default for this is 50, but the default for this is 200 in truth. So that means you're going to run out, well, what it means is you're going to rise to an altitude of 50 meters in a run out distance of 200 meters. In other words, this is the takeoff point right here, and this is a line representing 200 meters, and this is a line representing 50 meters. Then this is your climb rate. Now, I don't know what the climb rate is on RC airplanes. And real airplanes, they tell you in the owner's manual what the maximum climb rate is. Approximately. Different temperatures, different pressures, the RPMs on the engine will be slightly different, climb rate will be slightly different, but it's a ballpark. You need to know these things. A friend of mine was flying along and lost his engine. Based on the descent rate of his particular aircraft and his altitude, he could quickly calculate how much time he had to figure something out. That's why those things are important. So I mistakenly pulled back. I didn't want it 200 meters away, 200 yards. 2 football fields away from where I'm standing is where it's going to start circling at 100 and at 50 meters, 150 feet, 600 feet away. I didn't want that, so I changed this to 50, which in this would have made this altitude and this distance to altitude the same. This curve, this line would have gotten remarkably steeper. It would have probably been someplace right here to right here. So the climb rate is much steeper. That is a detriment to what we're trying to do here. So I made a mistake. What I should have done was understand that 200 meters to 50 meters is a 4-to-1 ratio. And that's basically what Mission Planner defaults are set at. So to keep this climb rate of this line, I have to change both of those numbers. If I wanted to change this one to 100, let's say, then this one would need to be changed to 25. They both need to be changed. So now I would go out 100 yards, 100 meters. I know meters and yards aren't exactly the same, but that's the way I think about them in my mind. So it would go out 100 yards and climb to 75 feet, 5 meters. So I need to keep this ratio the same. Now, I don't really like that altitude of 70 feet where I'm flying. There's some trees that could cause a problem for that. So I am going to calculate a different altitude, and 120 feet, what I like for my altitude at that particular field is 36.576 meters. I'm just going to convert that to 36. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put 36 in here for my meters. And what should my distance be? If I want to keep the 4-to-1 ratio, it's 36 times 4, 144 meters out. So that would be 144. So now I am keeping that same 4-to-1 ratio of 4 times the distance, 4 times the altitude is the distance away. So that should get me back in this climb rate. It is lower in altitude by somewhat, and it's also closer in distance. I would like that to be a little closer, but that keeps the climb ratio the same. So that's some changes I made, and I think that's going to work out much better. This is the Nano Talon, by the way. So my takeoff throttle max down here is 100, which was another, excuse me, change I made. So there's my new calculations. Second thoughts on auto takeoff, and I think this is going to work much better for me. So this will get the Nano Talon completely ready to fly again. I have a secondary problem with that platform in that for that last flight, oops, on the data flash logs, not, ah, I had some compass problems in that I need to figure out. This is the auto analyzer for data flash logs. As you can see, during that last flight, I had a compass problem. Mag field length too long, some variables in my compass here that aren't correct. So I've got to do a little bit of something about this and then fly it again and look and see if this problem has been corrected. So that's second thoughts on auto takeoff, and I think that will get me ready to try all that again next time I can get out to the field. We still have snow on the ground. It snowed again last night. Not much, just a dusting, but it just keeps putting moisture on the ground to make mud around here. So that's my new thoughts on auto takeoff. Someone kindly pointed out to me that you're leaving your altitude the same, but you cut your distance to that altitude by 75%, and you really expect it to be able to climb at that rate? No, I wasn't thinking clearly there. I was just worrying about the distance away it would be in my poor eyesight. So that should fix that. And then again, I have this compass thing to deal with on the Nano Talon. All right, guys, thanks a lot.